What is going on, YouTube and everybody around the world? This is Sonic Mix, and today I am going to give my predictions on WWE SummerSlam 2016. WWE SummerSlam happens August 21st, 2016. Now, before I get into this card, there are 13 matches. And then, yes, this is a 4-hour show, so obviously you got to have a lot of matches, but 13, it's a lot. I think WrestleMania, this past WrestleMania, I think only had 11. So this has a little bit more than WrestleMania itself. But looking at this card, and I know this might be saying a lot, but this has the potential to be one of the best, if not the best, SummerSlam since 2002. And I know that's saying a lot, but there's a lot of good matches on here, and I hope that they all deliver and it'll be spectacular. This is in no particular order. This is basically going from bottom to top, so here we go. Kicking things off, we have 3 kickoff matches. First which, we got American Alpha, the Hype Bros, and the Usos versus Breezango, the Ascension, and the Vaudevillains. I think this is going to be okay. Probably nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy is going to happen. Although there's going to be, what, 12 guys in the ring? So it's probably going to be hard to focus. Because that's usually the case with these type of matches. It's very, very hard to focus in these kind of matches. And sometimes they deliver and they're okay. Other times they're just sloppy. I think I will picture a range of maybe like a 2.5 out of 5-star type of match. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but I think 2.5 sounds about right. In the end, my pick is the team of American Alpha, the Hype Bros, and the Usos. Figuring this is American Alpha's debut. Actually, we got a lot of debuts. The Hype Bros' debut at SummerSlam, American Alpha, the Vaudevillains. I don't think the Ascension had a match at SummerSlam, as far as I can remember. But because it's American Alpha, I think they want to try to build up American Alpha. American Alpha, Hype Bros, and the Usos will win. Up next, we got Sami Zayn and Neville versus the Dudley Boys. I think this is going to be a little bit better than the 6-man tag. Not a 3-star range, though. I think probably a 2.75, which is not much. Probably going to be okay, maybe once again a little bit better than the 6-man tag. And I find it very, very disappointing that Sami Zayn, who came off in a huge win against Kevin Owens at Battleground, one hell of a performance, and he goes from being on the main card to having a match of the year caliber, match of the night, I would say, at Battleground to kickoff match. Honestly, if this was my call, I would have had Sami Zayn against Roman Reigns, but that's not the case. I gotta say Sami against Sami and Neville, because it seems like they're teasing a Dudley Boys breakup here, so I'm gonna say Zayn and Neville. Up next, we got Cesaro versus Sheamus in the best of 7 series. Obviously, this is the first one. Their matches have been solid. I've actually enjoyed the past couple ones they've had. This should be maybe a 2.75, maybe close to a 3, depending how much time they give them. But then again, this is only a kickoff match, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to give them all that much. So with that being said, this may be like a 2.25, maybe a 2.5 type of match here. In the end, I gotta give this one to Sheamus. I think Sheamus will get the first series, and I think we obviously know where this is going to lead to. This is going to lead to all 7 series, with the 7th series being at Clash of Champions, which is a Raw exclusive pay-per-view only. Now we get to the main card, kicking things off, which I don't think this is the kickoff show to the main card, but once again, I'm going from bottom to top. We got Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi versus Natalya and Alexa Bliss. Originally, Eva Marie was supposed to be in here, but she's on a 30-day suspension. So my question is, are they really going to do a 3-on-2 handicap match, or is there going to be a replacement? Now, I've heard rumor that Nikki Bella is indeed cleared to wrestle and that she might be back, but I haven't heard anything as far as I know. But let me talk about the match itself. This is probably going to be your, I mean, I hate to say this, but this is probably going to be your typical style women's match. Very boring, probably not very entertaining. I'd be a little shocked if it was a little entertaining, but I'm not expecting much out of this match. This is probably going to get maybe a star and a half, maybe a star and 3/4 on a lucky day. Now, looking at this, I'm thinking Carmella, Becky, and Naomi is going to win. But if Nikki Bella is supposed to come back and she's going to side with Natalya and Alexa Bliss, which makes sense because Nikki Bella was a heel when she left, so that would make sense. If Nikki Bella comes back, I'm obviously saying Bella, Natalya, and Bliss. If she's not coming back, and this is going to be a 3-on-2 handicap, once again, be very weird, I'm going to say Carmella, Becky, and Naomi. But as it stands right now, I'm going to go with Carmella, Becky, and Naomi. Up next, we got The Miz versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship. I think this is going to be okay. Probably maybe the weaker match of the main card itself. I love The Miz's character, and something tells me that I think Crews is going to win, but I want The Miz to win, just because I love what they're doing with The Miz and Maurice as being like a very good mid-card, top-tier mid-card, I should say, promo that they're giving them, and I think if The Miz loses, he kind of goes nowhere, although I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I think the match itself, once again, I think it's going to be fine. Maybe the weaker match of the main card itself. I think a lot of people are expecting Crews, but I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to say The Miz for this one. Up next, we got Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Jericho and Owens. This should be a really good tag team match. All these guys are talented. If they give them enough time, I could see this being like a 3, maybe a 3.25 out of 5 type match. Excuse me. In the end, I gotta give this to Amore and Big Cass. With Chris Jericho, I know he has mentioned, or at least I think he's mentioned, about putting younger guys over, putting the young talent over, and I think Chris Jericho is going to do his best by putting Big Cass and Enzo Amore over. And I don't think Jericho and Owens is not going to be a thing. I think they're a thing now, but I think when Amore and Cass win, I think Owens is just going to turn on Jericho, and then they split up. That just seems pretty obvious to me. Up next, we got The New Day versus Gallows and Anderson for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Once again, I think this is going to be a good match. I think this is going to be on par with the Jericho, Enzo, and Cass match. I think it's going to be a 3.25. And I think it's going to be really entertaining. Now, the big question is this. Is Gallows and Anderson going to win? Now, I did a calculation here. And this Sunday, it will mark the New Day's 364th title reign, which means they would be one more day away from hitting 1 year. So you kind of have to think to yourself. Now, Big E is out with that groin injury, which is part of the story. So now you kind of have to think to yourself for just a moment. Are they going to give the tag team victory to Gallows and Anderson and have them have a run with the titles, or are they going to give it to the New Day and let them hit 1 year? This is a very tough call. I would not be surprised if Gallows and Anderson won, figuring SummerSlam is the place that the New Day retained the titles in that Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match from last year. But it would also would make sense if the New Day won and hit 365 days as Tag Team Champion. This is a tough call. But if I had to bet my money, I think a lot of people are going to say Gallows and Anderson, but you know what? I think 1 year is going to happen. I'm going to say the New Day is going to retain the titles and hit 1 year as Tag Team Champions. Up next, we got Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the WWE Women's Championship. Their match on Raw after the brand split was great. 3.5 out of 5, maybe even closer to 3.75. I would have to check that match again to really give it a good rating. If this match is anything like they had on that one Raw, this should be no different. I think this is going to be great for a women's match. I think it's going to be very exciting. And I think Sasha Banks is going to retain. It makes no sense for her to lose the title to Charlotte. Although I'm sure there's going to be something in the match where, I don't know, Dana Brooke may come out and try to interfere, but it's not going to work and Sasha Banks wins. Also, two really quick things really quick. One, thank God this wasn't a handicap match. And two, it made no sense in that one promo where Banks was talking to Mick Foley and how she requested a handicap match, and kind of it made her sound very idiotic in some way. I mean, I love Sasha Banks, but the way that she came off saying it, I think she said something like on the lines of, you know, I'm sick and tired of Dana Brooke interfering in my matches, so I request a handicap match. And then Mick Foley was like, no, I got something better. I got something better than that. Very, very weird, very confusing, idiotic, and I don't know if that was just a slip of the tongue and it just made it sound wrong, or if that's what Sasha Banks was supposed to say. Either way, it made her and the character look like an idiot. But Sasha Banks to retain. Up next, we got Rusev versus Roman Reigns for the United States Championship. I think this is going to be a solid match. I would say a 3 out of 5. I think it's going to be... I can kind of see this. Maybe Rusev gets more of the advantage, and then Roman Reigns kind of gets the momentum going, leading to the 3 out of 5 star type of match. And the question is, who wins? I love Rusev as champion. I think he is very good as champion, and he's been getting better. Way better than Bray Wyatt, which thankfully Rusev is not going down that path, even though he was going down that path for a moment, but he picked back his momentum up, at least in my opinion. I'm going to say Roman Reigns. I think Roman because they want to elevate the U.S. title just like how John Cena did with the U.S. title back last year. Even though this isn't really a punishment, but in a way, maybe in a way it's a good punishment just to elevate the U.S. title. So if Roman Reigns does win, this keeps him out of the WWE title hunt, at least for hopefully several months and not just 2 months or 3. Hopefully he has a good long reign with the title. Up next, John Cena versus AJ Styles, what is probably going to be the final encounter. This is probably going to be the second best match of the night. I think it's going to be very entertaining. I can see this being a close near-fall type of match. I'm really hoping, though, that the club does not interfere in any way, shape, or form. I'm really hoping it's a one-on-one. AJ Styles mans up, and if he wins without any help, it makes him look super good. And if he actually in a way, AJ Styles needs to win. He actually needs to win. I was about to say if he loses, it still makes him look super good, but I feel that AJ needs the win. He needs the win. But it's very hard to go against John Cena. It is. I want to see AJ win. I want to say AJ's going to win, but I just think John Cena's going to win. Thus, I say John Cena. Then we get to the final 3 matches here. We got Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE World Championship. This should be a very good match. I would say 3.5, 3.75. I think in this storyline alone, they've done a good job building this matchup very well. And I especially liked the SmackDown before SummerSlam, obviously, where Ziggler's cutting a promo. He's talking about how he's scratching and he's clawing his way up to the top. And then out of nowhere, he gives Dean Ambrose a super kick, and I loved that. Really, really loved it. And it's funny because Ziggler went from being a nobody to kind of being a somebody after that one Survivor Series match, then being a complete nobody, and he's slowly getting back up there again, but I feel like he's still in the status of somewhat of a nobody, but kind of a nobody. In the end, I gotta say Dean Ambrose. I do not see Ziggler winning. I think they're gonna make Ambrose hold the title until he faces Cena, which is why I think Cena's gonna beat AJ. And then the storyline, if they hold it up till Survivor Series, maybe Ambrose faces Cena at Survivor Series, which would kind of make sense, seeing Survivor Series is a big pay-per-view. But I'm going to say Dean Ambrose. Up next, we got Seth Rollins versus Demon Form Finn Balor for the first ever WWE Universal Championship. I think this is going to be the match of the night. I see a 4.5, maybe a 4.75. I don't see a 5-star unless this match completely blows me out of the water. And I love the debut of the Demon on Raw. And now we're going to see the debut of the Demon on a major pay-per-view, or now a network special on the main roster. I think this is going to be a very intense, very physical, technical, and I think there's going to be a lot of reverses, countering into another move. In the end, you got to go with Finn Balor, especially if he's debuting as the Demon, and there's going to be like Demon merchandise for Finn Balor. You want to promote that and have that be a selling thing for Finn Balor. So, I got to say Finn Balor. And then finally, what is probably going to be the main event. A lot of people say this is a dream match. I, for one, think this is a dream match. And also I want to point out really quick, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, that's also a dream match that I've been looking forward to for quite a long while now. But this is another dream match, 14 years in the making. Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. This should be a very interesting match. What makes this interesting is, first off, you got Randy Orton, who's coming back after a 9-month injury. Then you got Brock Lesnar, who failed a drug test on UFC's term. And now these guys are battling out to see who gets the better win, or who should get the win more. I think this is going to be basically Suplex City. We're probably going to see some DDTs from Randy Orton. Like I said, I think this is going to be, I know I've been saying solid a lot. I think it's going to be good. Not the match of the night, but it's going to be in a 3-star range match. Now the question is, who do you make win here? So there's 2 possibilities. You can make Randy Orton win, and he can brag that how he was the one that beat the one in 21-1, or now it's 23-1. But then again, with Brock Lesnar, I kind of feel that he would lose that believability of him being this unstoppable beast. And whoever beats Lesnar the next time, it's not going to feel quite special because Randy Orton was the first to do it. And technically, Brock has been undefeated since beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. But then if you have Brock win, yeah, he still looks great and all, but then Randy Orton just came back and he loses in his return. And in a way that doesn't really quite make Orton look all that good. But then I kind of put 2 and 2 together and I thought, you know, when Cena came back and fought AJ, Cena lost. Although he got help with AJ got help from the club, so it really didn't make Cena look bad. But even if AJ pinned him clean, it still would have not made Cena look bad because he's Super Cena. So I can see if Brock gets the clean win on Orton, it may not hurt him as much, but it might do a little bit of damage. Not too much damage, but my pick, I gotta say Brock Lesnar. Now I know a lot of people may be against the idea of having Brock win once again with the drug thing, but I think you want to make Lesnar look strong until he finally loses. And if that is like if his last match is at WrestleMania and he's going to be done, no more after that, that's where you make him lose it. And that makes the most perfect sense there. And without further ado, this wraps up my predictions for WWE SummerSlam 2016. I hope you guys enjoy. Please leave a comment. Tell me who you think is going to win. Leave a like as always. Give me your opinion. What did you like about the video? Who do you think is going to win in tomorrow's, upon this recording, tomorrow's WWE SummerSlam for August 21st? And once again, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I'll have the link below somewhere there. You can check it out in the description. And until then, YouTube and everybody around the world, you have a good one. Oh, and also I want to make an announcement. Today is August 20th, which means today is NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. I will be watching it, and I will be giving a review after the show's over. And as far as UFC 202 goes, unfortunately, I will not be seeing it. A buddy of mine had to cancel it because he's actually going to be working late. Well, not really working late. He works the graveyard shift, so he starts at 10 p.m. So he won't be ordering it whatsoever, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to hear about it most likely tomorrow, Sunday. So just wanted to mention that quick announcement there really quick. And now, until then, thank you guys for watching. Leave your likes and comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your prediction is. And until then, I will see you all later. This is Sonic Mix, signing out.